Hi there, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Nick Georgiev and I'm here today with John Browne of Monument, and we're going to show you the new Antelope Zen Quadro interface, and we're going to show you how it kicks ass on guitar. So the Zen Quadro is our latest interface, and it's an upgrade and replaces the previous model, the Zen Q, and it's quite different, although very similar. We wanted to make something that is going to be your final interface, you know?
Okay.
Not something you're going to buy and then you're going to be looking for an upgrade quite soon, you know?
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that in this size, you've got everything you ask for. And there's quite a few differences compared to the previous Zen Q. For starts, like the mic pre's have been upgraded to 75 dB of gain, and they're discrete mic pre's from our discrete 4 and discrete 8 range, and they're really good. Just to explain to you what that means, if you had a mic such as an SM7B,
Yep.
you could go straight into the interface. You wouldn't need to boost the signal before going into it. You're going to get a clean gain. The converters are from our Galaxy 32 and 64 range.
All right.
So that's been a step up.
Yep.
Better dynamic range, ultra clean, lots of details. The same acoustically focused clock as in, you know, the Galaxy.
Yep.
And the
Probably
Orion.
my Orion as well.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah,
Orion.
yeah,
Yeah. And there's some actually extraordinary features for a device like that. There's a second USB port at the back, which is something very new for us. That allows you to simply use Apple camera kit adapter, and you could just connect your phone to it, or an iPad, or another tablet. You could actually share audio between, say, your laptop and your phone. So theoretically, what we're doing here now, I could have been live streaming this from my phone in real time, just by simply
Perfect.
getting all the mics in here and sending them the sound, the process sound from my computer to my phone.
I mean, it's kind of, you could kind of do similar with the Orion. You could record to two different computers at the same time, but this is taking it a step further, that you can live stream and you can get all that audio into your
Yes,
phone.
for all the content creators.
Exactly,
Yeah. Or say if you're recording a live show and you wanted to have two systems on which you do that.
Yeah.
So in case your laptop fails while it's recording, you could be recording on a second system.
Yeah.
That's a backup recording.
That's perfect. Yeah, awesome. How does this differ then to my Zen Tour Synergy Core? Like, what extra features is there outside of that?
Well, it is a cheaper interface and a smaller size interface.
Yep.
And one of the major differences is that this is bus powered, where the Zen Tour, you know, it needs power adapter and everything. And in fact, like I did try this already a few times, just with a normal USB battery, you can power the device. And you don't need a laptop, you need a power adapter, you need nothing like that.
Yep.
We wanted this to also be suitable for people like you. So say you're somewhere on the road and you just wanted to practice your guitar and don't have a guitar amp.
Yep.
What you could do is store a bunch of presets in here with the guitar effects that come with the device.
Yep.
And just go straight into the device, put your headphones, put a USB power, and just play.
So you don't even need the computer.
You don't need a computer. No, you can do everything from the screen here. You can save your presets and just recall, say, like a few clean, a few distorted ones.
Perfect.
And you need nothing else. I mean, obviously it's much better if you have a laptop because you can tweak everything on the screen, but that functionality is there.
Exactly. I think that's convenience is really important for a lot of people, especially when you're on the road. You don't want to be sat on your bunk or on your, you know, on the seating area of your bus with your laptop out, your guitar, your interface, because you're already interfering with everyone else's personal space at that point. So, yeah, perfect. So, should we hear how some of the sounds sound on this?
Sure, yeah. So there's 4 mic pre's. There's 2 on the front and 2 on the back. The 2 on the front also couple as instrument input. So you could use that either as a DI input or as a mic input or as a line input for that matter.
Okay, yeah.
Where those on the back can be used only either as line input or mic inputs, but you can have 4 mics all at the same time.
Yeah.
So right now, in fact, what we have is your guitar is plugged into input 1,
Yep.
the instrument input, and in a sec we can show how you can add some live effects, real-time effects from the device. But we also have 2 microphones that are connected to the back pre's that are actually placed on the Victory amp behind you.
This one here.
Yeah, and if you had a second guitar, you could have easily gone like into a second instrument input without having to disconnect anything here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have a guitar, bass, or two guitar players.
Guitar, bass, yeah, you could, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have like 4 singers or like 4, well, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
4 something.
Yeah, barbershop quartet. So you want to hear the guitar, what we came up with. So we came up with a preset with, I think it was a, well, should we say a dual rectifier?
Dual rectifier.
Dual rectifier style of amp.
And you're running pedals too, which is nuts.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of pedals in the front here. I've got this one, which I actually have forgotten what it's called already.
The Dane.
The Dane, thank you very much, sir. Along with an NS1 by Boss, just a little bit of noise suppression because guitars are noisy. I'm just boosting a little bit of volume boost to go into the input, which the input can handle, and then directly into a chain of effects here through the AFX directly on the Zen Quadro, which means 0 latency.
So currently we've got a bunch of EQs, an amp and a guitar cabinet simulation. I think maybe John, you can say a little bit more about the logic behind your choices here.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to EQ first before you go into the amp and then you EQ it again after on the output of the amp.
So I've done a pre-EQ. So the first EQ is like EQing what's going into the actual amp. I do this a lot when I'm playing 7 and 8 string guitars, and I'm usually cutting about 100 hertz, maybe 250 a little bit, 1 to 2 dB. The reason for that is because most guitar amps are made for 6-string guitar. So you kind of want to bring 7 and 8 string back into that territory so that the amp genuinely actually sounds good. You'll notice that amps with 7 and 8 string generally aren't, it's not optimized for them, so you need to bring it back, in my opinion, of course. Otherwise you get that really horrible sort of woofy low end. You know, I'm sure if you've played a 7 or 8 and you plug into your amp and it's like it doesn't quite feel right or have the tight response, then this will get you back into that sort of tight response, almost like you're playing an E standard.
Just cutting a little bit, 125 to 50, that kind of range.
Just a tiny little bit, yeah, and then boosting the volume a tiny little bit. And sometimes, here's something, if you can't be bothered to change your strings, if you boost between 1 and 2K, it's the magic button for getting new strings again. That's then going into your guitar amp simulation, which is obviously of a modern era amp that is, you know, you can make out what that is yourselves, into a modern 4x12 cab. And I've used the same mic setup as what we've got on the Victory Kraken over here as well, so it's similar in terms of tonal that you can hear between the two. And then a post EQ, which is boosting a bit of top end, cutting some whistles, let's say, in the mid-range, in the high mids and the low mids, boosting a little bit of bottom end just to give the cab fart sort of simulation, you know, when you palm mute and it goes zoom, kind of want to recreate that. And then a little filter in the top end as well, just to cut out the information that isn't really in a guitar amp sound. You know, if you think about a guitar speaker, it's generally trailing off from 5K to about 15K. Sure. So cut anything above that out a little bit. And then a little bit of compression just to even out the palm mutes, because we want the cab fart to be accentuated a little bit more. Yes. Yeah, and that's the sort of mindset behind that signal.
Awesome, and the compressor here is set in such a way that only when you hit the palm mutes, it just does just a few dB of gain reduction at the most.
A little tiny bit,
yeah.
It's just to level it out a little bit. I mean, if you think about what distortion is anyway, it is literally a limiter. So you don't want to overboard it. It's just a little bit, just to make it a little bit sweeter.
And just to be clear, so the first thing that we're gonna hear is you going out of the guitar, through the booster box, straight into the interface. There's nothing else in the chain.
No, nothing else. No. Apart from the noise gate, but yeah. Yeah, so this is the chain that that I created, and this is the sound of it with the pedal in front. Right,
and I should say that actually interface comes with a whole selection of guitar amps and cabinets, and there's also a bunch of other effects that you can use, such as tremolos, flangers, wah, stuff like that.
Oh, really? Let's put a bit of chorus on that.
A chorus?
Yeah, put a chorus on that, and let's go all Dimebag.
Is there any latency, John? How's it feel?
No, there's none.
No, there's not. Oh, this looks
Great.
something easier to.
There we go. Yeah, that looks. Yeah. There we go. That's more like it, isn't it? I'm in the wrong tuning. God damn it.
Faster rate, slower.
It's because I was listening to Van Halen the other day. I mean, I know it's a flanger, but it kind of just.
Oh, do you want to try the?
No, I mean it sounds great. It's a great chorus. Maybe a little bit more than I would ever do, and I would probably never do it on rhythm, but still, great chorus. And then this is the flanger. Cool effects.
Loving the flanger.
Yeah. See, it's weird. It's like I don't really use flanger. I don't. I use chorus on clean.
Okay.
But it's kind of one of those things where I used to spend a lot of time experimenting with different sounds. So maybe it's something I could do more now that it's on there.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't have any of those effects on my Zen Go. So.
And you don't have a single flanger effect in your studio or anything?
No.
Amazing.
Not one single flanger. Yeah.
Awesome, you've got a bunch of free ones there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that I can check out. Yeah, perfect.
Maybe we can move now and have a listen to the amp.
Yeah, we want to test out the preamps.
Yeah,
We want to see what the
yeah,
preamps sound
yeah,
like.
yeah.
So we've got the 57 and the 121 on here, which is the same as what we had on there. So let's see how that sounds.
So just to explain, like you only have the guitar going through the noise gate and the booster, and that's connected straight into the Victory amp,
Yep.
into the guitar cabinet.
Yep.
From there it's picked up by a Shure SM57 Dynamic Microphone and a Royer 121 ribbon that are going into input stream 4 of the interface, and that's what you guys are gonna hear. There's no other processing on the way, and hopefully that will show you like how pristine these mic pre's can sound.
Yeah, let's have a listen, shall we? Metal. Oh yeah, probably shouldn't say that word, should I?
It's still
No, metal Everlong, isn't it? And then I gave you Close Encounters of the Third Kind at the end. No, sounds wicked.
sounds wicked.
Yeah, great amp, isn't it?
So shall I have cleans?
That's not very metal.
Sorry.
No, we probably should actually, shouldn't we? So yeah, let's try a clean sound as well on here. actually resolved it this time. Yeah, clean sounds great in there as well. Maybe we could actually try adding some reverb.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was going to say. We could try adding something like a tremolo or a reverb or
maybe
vibrato,
chorus and verb.
or a chorus and verb. Yeah. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands what's going on here. So the guitar amp goes straight in here, but like the way we can hear this in the headphones is, you know, we don't even need to listen through Logic or whatever the AW we're using at the moment to record. You know, the signal can be sent straight out of these mic pre's to the headphones.
Yep.
So there's no latency, and the effects that we're adding, they also don't have any additional latency. So this is very suitable for, you know, for live performance.
Yep.
So, all right, let's try to add a bit of reverb to this, and just gonna click here, bring them the reverb menu, and then all we need to do is just send these guys to the reverb, and I will pan them left and right, and we should be having some of it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's put a bit of that chorus, that you liked before.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Can we make that so it's less wobbly, bit more wide, the rate, so it's a little slower? Yeah, there we go. Compress it.
Compress it?
Yeah, compress it before the chorus, and then it'll just squidge the so that you don't get the peaks of the guitar coming through. So it's a little bit more.
Okay, again the 160, your favorite one?
Yeah, let's do that, and then a little bit more. Let's compress this to like -10 on the guitar, and let's get that really squashed. That's a really nice verb.
I quite like adding multiple compressors in a chain here. You know, that's one good thing about actually these effects, that you can add a lot of them and they don't add additional latency.
Okay.
The process is a single effect, which is the really, really cool thing.
That is crazy. Like being able to play out of a real amp, add all these effects with zero latency is really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice, yeah.
And you know what? You also have the option to actually, right now, the way this is set up, we're actually going to record with these effects.
Okay,
But
yep.
if I just wanted to record the same signal without any processing, I could just add it here. And, you know, on mic pre 3 and 4, 3 is the 57, 4 is the Royer.
Yep.
I'm going to have these on inputs 3 and 4 in my DAW, but I've now created a copy at inputs 7 and 8 of the same signal from the microphones,
Okay, yep.
but without the processing.
So then you can record a pre-processing and a post-processing in your
I
DAW.
could even record like multiple processing versions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then choose which one do I want, say, in my verse, in my chorus, even blend them and do all kind of things.
It's almost a bit like when you're in a recording studio, you'll occasionally record, like, say you've got a snare, you might put it through a distressor as like an extra channel.
Yeah.
As like an effects channel or something, or maybe you compressed it too hard during the recording, which obviously
happens.
which why you just checked it.
Yeah.
So you always record a dry just in case. I can actually hear the verb. Hear that? That's awesome. I'm getting reverb because it's coming through the mics, you see, of these. But yeah, so then in this way, you can also have a pre-processing in case you mess something up during the recording stage.
That's exactly.
But then you can recall the preset that you did and just reapply it and change what you needed to change.
100%. Yes,
Yeah.
you can do all of that.
So
Yeah,
it's sort of bridging that gap between committing to a sound and then the option paralysis way is just getting DIs of everything and then choosing the tones later. It's kind of a mixture of both.
Absolutely.
In a way, it's like giving the fun part of recording, which is getting all the sounds.
And there's something else about that. So when you perform with an effect, it's not the same as adding the effect after it has, the performance has been recorded, because you play into it, you play with it.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
This is actually why I play with amps a lot, because I feel I play differently depending on what amp I'm playing with. So that's kind of why I always play with an amp when I'm recording, versus just using whatever sound that's there available and getting a DI and fixing it later. I always found that reamping afterwards never had the same thing. There was something you bounce off the amp, the way that it reacts when you're playing it, how angry you are when you're playing it.
The whole sucking
because you're actually
gives
feeling
part of the groove as well.
Exactly,
yeah.
Like when there's a loud amp in the room and your ears are getting torn to shreds, there's something about that that's quite magical. And if you don't have that, then you play differently, in my opinion.
Yes.
You're inspired by what you're hearing. So having the option to record both is pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. Super awesome. As a matter of fact, the way that I use my guitar with this interface in my studios, I go into the front input, into the instrument input. I've got two guitars connected all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I go from one of these outs. I create a direct send, so I copy the signals right from the input and I put it into the output here. And I go into ramping box into my amp.
Yes.
And then I have two mics on the amp, just actually these two
Yeah,
mics.
of course, yeah. Perfect
So,
combo.
so I'm actually, the way I record is I record the clean DI sound. I
Yep.
record the clean DI with some effects.
Yeah.
I send the DI to the amp and I record the amp clean, and then I can even
Add effects
add
later.
additional effects to the amp as well. So now I've got the super clean, the original signal. I've got something that's been processed just with effects, and I've got the amp, and I can choose between all these things while still hearing, the amp in the room.
That's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
isn't it? Oh God, we're so geeky. We have gone down a geek level path of this, haven't we? But yeah, basically there's millions of options that you can do with this thing. And you can do it without a laptop, and you can live stream with it.
Yeah. And you can use it with a phone
Yeah.
or a tablet as well. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Links below.
Yeah, I guess that's it, isn't it? Check out the links to this Zen Quadro interface in the links below. And that was probably your line, wasn't
that's my line.
Yeah, that's fine. I stole the limelight for 2 seconds.
Okay, so basically what's happening, I'm playing guitar for Monuments. And
Here you go, dude.
well, I was only joking.
Yeah, me too. Subscribe. That's what you told me to do. Subscribe down below. Click it.